So this is going to be my definitive tier list, right? So we're going to go through all of these characters, right? The way we're going to label this, right, is we're going to go, let's do S plus, S plus. Let's go S, A, and B. Now, the reason I'm calling this my definitive play or tier list is because when I first made my tier list, there was some characters I wasn't too sure about, right? But I feel like now, specifically, I know pretty much how every character plays and pretty accurately can put them into a tier list. So let's just start. Let's just start. Liu Kang. I'm gonna put Liu Kang immediately S tier. I don't think Liu Kang is S plus. I don't think like he's like top echelon, top 3. But I do think he's S. Very, very, very strong character. Some of his best cameos are Lao, Striker. You can keep his wake up essentially safe with Striker, as some of the best strike throw mix within the game. Great damage off any single hit confirm into back 4-3 EX. He's your average top tier character, right? He has a good mid. He has a good strike throw mix. Has a 6-frame stand 1. He's very, very good. Very good. But at the same time, you also have to look at some of his tools like zoning, which are, again, very good, right? His EX projectile eats all projectiles within the game. Super, super strong character. Super strong character. S tier. S tier. Again, not top echelon, but S tier. Michelle. Okay. All right, moving on. We got Kung Lao. Again, Kung Lao, ooh, S tier. I'm gonna put him above Liu Kang. Still S tier. Very strong character. Again, best cameos, Goro. Kung Lao is good with Kung Lao. He has overhead mixes that you can essentially keep plus with Goro or Lao. Safe armored wake up that not only combos, but again, you can keep it plus with Goro. Good mixes, very good damage. Good space control character as well with his dive kick. If you whiff any button, he can EX his dive kick full combo. Very strong character again. Just all around a very good, fundamentally strong character. Has plus frames, has an overhead mix. Doesn't have a low starter, but then again, you can still mix it with your strike throw, right? Okay, moving on. Raiden, S plus. Definitely S plus. This is a top 3 character right here. I don't know if he's top 1, but definitely top 3. We're talking Raiden Cyrex. Everyone's seen the duo. Everyone sees what you can do with it. The chip damage is insane. The damage is insane. Has very good strike throw mix. Has a 50-50 off of his back 2 and forward 4. Very, very, very top tier character right here. And here's the thing about Raiden. He's not only good with Cyrex, he's good with multiple cameos. He's good with Striker. He's good with Jax. He's good with Kung Lao. But of course, Raiden, I think, is his best symmetry as far as cameos go. He's very, very strong. Yeah, I mean, he has everything. The only thing he lacks really is zoning, but you have many, many, many ways to get in. So zoning isn't really an issue too much. I do think he gets outzoned by characters like Reiko and Liu, but again, zoning isn't that strong in this game unless you're talking about Reiko, in which case, on certain matchups, his zoning is broken. Okay, who's next? All right, so we got Geras. Geras, I'm gonna put in A tier. I think Geras is strong, but I don't think he's like S tier strong. He has some good shit, right? He has tick throw mix-ups, has some crazy setups off of his time stop. Good damage, but you're spending a lot of resources on damage. You really are. Outside of that, man, he doesn't have too much. His zoning isn't really strong. He just hits hard, and he has a good mid check. That's about it. And again, his tick throw setups are pretty good. Strike throw is pretty decent. But outside of that, man, he doesn't really have too much. I mean, he's a good character, but he's not like scary like Raiden or Liu, right? Like, you know what you're going to go against when you play a Geras, right? Kitana, I'll put Kitana S tier. I think I don't think Kitana's as strong as Liu. I don't think she's as strong as Lao, but she's definitely fucking strong. One of the best mids within the game for sure. 40% off every single touch. Some of the best zoning within the game. Some of the best keep away tools within the game with her trap setup. She can, as soon as you get in, she can fly to the other side of the screen. Very, very strong character. But I think her best assets are her mid. Her mid and her 2-4-1-2 string are very, very strong. Very strong. Li Mei. Now, see, originally I thought she was poop, right? I thought she was bad, but now I'm gonna put her just above Geras. Just above Geras. She has very good plus frames. I think her best symmetry comes from Kung Lao, because you can set up like a low hat into EX cartwheel for some really good mix-up potential. She's just good. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has good plus frames, good strike throw, pretty decent damage if you get the right setups going, but she is, in my opinion, pretty hard to play. Like, she's not like your average, like you pick up a character and like you're gonna feel top tier with her. No, like you have to put in the work to play her at an optimal level, but she is good if you can get there, for sure. What matchups is Reiko zoning broken? Anyone except Rain, and well, no, even Rainy out zones. Rain. Oh, I'm sorry, not Rain. Liu Kang. Liu Kang is really good at anti-zoning against Reiko. And Sindel, because he can EX it. Moving on. Mileena. People are gonna get mad at me for this. I still think Mileena is S tier, but she's like bottom S tier, right? Like, she's still strong as fuck. But the fact that you can floss block 1-2, 1+3 really puts her down some. It does, because you can full combo punish one of her main strings that they like to use, right? Outside of that, dude, she's still hitting like a fucking truck. She still has great mix, great space control, good plus frames. But outside of that, she doesn't really have the best zoning. It's just, she's going to be hitting you like a truck, and anytime you whiff one button, she's going to be ball rolling into a full combo conversion, right? So I still think she's super strong, but the fact that you can but you can flawless block 1-2, 1+3 really puts her down some. If you couldn't do that, she would be up here, and I'm not joking. She would be like S+. But the fact that you can literally flawless block that and full combo punish both her 1-2 and 1-2, 1+3, you can completely OS it. Yeah, she's down here, but she's still good. Don't get it twisted. She's still fucking good. Tanya, again, Tanya's S tier, man. Tanya's S tier for the simple fact that she has one of the best mids within the game, for sure. Has one of the best mids in the game to check you anytime. One of the best wake ups within the game too, because if you're crouch blocking, she's going to the other side of the screen. But her literal best asset, and the only asset that puts her up here, is her mid check, because it's a full hit confirmable mid. You can keep it completely safe at all times. No armor gap through it. It's literally probably top 3 best mids within the game. Outside of that, man, she really doesn't have much outside of that, but that's the thing. That's how strong that fucking mid is that's really all you need. You check, backdash check. As soon as you hit confirm, go into a full combo with any cameo within the game really will combo with this. So very, 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 very good. I use the Victrix Pro, leverless. All right, moving on. Scorpion, I'm gonna put Scorpion in A below Geras. Scorpion is strong. Like, he's a good character, but he's one of those characters, again, you really have to work with, right? You have to get your spacing almost perfect with this character. Now, you can keep, you know, some gimmicks with the death spin into Cyrax, you know what I'm saying? Get some pretty good chip damage, but outside of that, man, you're just going to try to space with this character, anti-air when you can, outspace with his 1-2, and that's really it. Like, he hits pretty good, like he hits for 40%, but he's not as good as Geras, he's not as good as Li Mei. He's just solid. He's just a solid character. He's a solid A tier character. I'm gonna save sub for last, because I know everyone and their mother thinks sub is low tier, but I have some pretty controversial thoughts on Sub-Zero, so I'm gonna save him for last. Reptile, I think Reptile's stronger than Scorpion. I don't think Reptile's stronger than Geras, but he's definitely stronger than Scorpion. So I'll put Reptile right here. Has one of the best buttons in the game. Back 3 is one of the best buttons within the game. Not even a question. You can literally outspace most down 4s. He can outspace Raiden's down 4 with back 3, which is crazy because Raiden has an amazing down 4. Very, very strong character. But he does lack in some departments. His overhead, your only mix-up option, is completely punishable on block. Getting his setups can take some time unless you're using like a Sub-Zero cameo in which you get it for free, but you lose some of your big damage, right, that you could be getting with Scorpion. Or Mataro with Reptile is really good too. But then you lose the asset of, you know, you're not getting the free mix-ups anymore while going invisible. One of the best buttons in the game, but you can keep it complete. You can't. Okay, the only way you keep it completely safe is if you stagger, right? You stagger back 3 and try to hit confirm, right? But that's the problem. You can't hit confirm a single hitting button. So anytime you're going into block pressure, you're kind of taking a risk, which puts them lower on the tier list. Puts them a little bit lower on the tier list because what is it? It's back 3-2. Has an armor gap, and then if you do the full string, it's completely punishable. And the only way you keep that safe is if you do the full string into the dash, which again, if they flawless block, is punishable. So you're taking a risk anytime you throw that out, but you have to throw it out because it's its best button, right? So just because of that, he goes lower on the tier list. If they took the armor gap away from it, I would almost put him in S tier. But the fact that he has to take a risk every time, he's down here for sure. For sure. All right, Smoke. Oh man, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Because at first glance, I want to put Smoke here, right? But knowing what I know and every single way you can blow Smoke up and how hard it is to consistently get his cancels, I'll put him down here. He's like top of A tier. Like, I know a lot of people that don't really know fighting games too much think Smoke is immediately broken, but there's so much counterplay to Smoke. Every single one of his buttons has an armor gap. Every single one. Every single one. His low end overhead has an up block gap that if they do it, it's completely punishable. His smoke cancels, while they're safe, they're not necessarily that scary. You can completely react to them at all times and just check them every single time. Right? Or on the flip side of that, if he lets it go at any time, meaning if he fucks his cancel, if he's like minus 20 on block, so you can completely get a full combo punish at any time on reaction. I think a lot of people upplay Smoke because a lot of Smoke players play on Wi-Fi, unfortunately, and they're just getting these unreactable mixes over and over and over again. But he's strong, but he's not that strong. There's a lot of counterplay to Smoke. But when he does hit you, he hits hard. He hits hard for sure. Rain, Rain is super strong. Is he stronger than Tanya? Yes. Is he stronger than Mileena? Yes. Is he stronger than Kitana? Yes. Now, what comes with Rain is his set play, right? Putting you into the same situation over and over and over again. Every time he knocks you down, he's going to knock you down into a hard knockdown with a lot of fucking recovery, where he gets the whirlpool down and either a grab setup or an overhead and low mix, right? And it's a guess, right? Either you're going to delay wake up and he gets more free pressure, or you're going to delay wake up and he tries to go for a grab, which case it whiffs, which case you get your pressure back, right? So it's going to be a mix up the entire time. Now, it will take a little bit to get good with this character, but what makes this character so good is his fucking wake up, bro. His wake up is one of the most broken things I've ever seen in my life. The counterplay you have to do to get around this character's wake up is insane. You can't floss block punish it. Can't do it. Unless you're playing like Johnny, in which case you floss block the first hit and then you do an EX nut punch, which is invincible. So you're already seeing the layers in which case you have to even get around this wake up. His overhead is completely cancelable, which is kind of crazy. And really, really good space control. But again, it's his set play that puts him up there so high. All right. All right. Johnny, top tier, top 3. I think Johnny's better than Raiden. He is. Johnny is better than Raiden. I know a lot of people may think that's a little bit controversial, but I don't. Johnny is just plus frames galore, stuffing a 9-frame mid down your throat, stuffing a 6-frame down 1 through your throat, keeping himself plus, keeping yourself getting chip damage on people with Cyrax. And that's not even going into his hype. You don't even need to use his hype meter at all, and he's still S tier. But you put that on top of everything else, man. He's just in your face at all times, plus frames on plus frames on plus frames. He's just... And again, one of the best mids in the game. A forward advancing 9-frame mid is insane in this game. And then you mix that with a 6-frame down 1 and a +3 standing, what is it, 1-1? Yeah, that's broke as shit. He's just broke, dude. He's everything you think Johnny would be, right? He rushes you down, and once he gets in your face, you're just eating block pressure the entire time. And the second you get hit, he's opening you up with the full combo punish that leads into 35 to 40% every single time. He has hype meter, you're eating 50 plus. So Kenshi. Okay. Here's where it's going to get a little bit crazy. Kenshi is better than Raiden. I'm sorry to say it, he's better than Raiden. Is Kenshi better than Johnny? Yes, no, he's not. No. Kenshi is not better than Johnny. Only because Johnny beats Kenshi. Johnny shits on Kenshi, and I don't think of any character that really gives Johnny a hard problem. Like, I can't think of a single character that beats Johnny in a matchup. But Johnny does beat Kenshi, and Kenshi can theoretically get outzoned by some characters. But the thing is, bro, when Kenshi gets Sento out, man. Okay, let me break this down for like the real FGC heads out there that may be looking into this character. When you get Sento out, you're constantly keeping your block strings plus with your Sento going 2-2, which is plus on block, obviously. And then you have a 12-frame low mix-up mixed in with the 13-frame overhead mix-up while you're plus on block. Both of these are fully hit confirmable with Sento, leading into 40% every single time you get mixed up, which is completely unreactable. Now, you're like, how do you get out of that? The only way to get out of that is if, one, he fucks up and you get like a down 1, canceling out Sento, and then you're at advantage, right? 2, you armor out of Sento 2-2, which is a complete risk on your part, because if he does block, you're eating 50% just like that. So it's a risk on both parts, right? Well, not on both parts. It's a risk on your part, no risk on his part, because if he decides to block for a second and you block and he sees that you block, he's just going in with more pressure. So it just resets itself over and over and over and over and over again. But one of the main problems he has is he does get zoned out, and Johnny can do his EX taunt, which is a startup of 1 frame. It literally starts up frame 1, which gets out of a Sento pressure, which punishes him. And that's the only thing keeping Kenshi back from being top 1, in my opinion. I know that was a lot, but that character's fucked. Baraka S+. I don't think Baraka is better than Raiden. He's definitely not better than Kenshi. He's definitely not better than Johnny. But we all know Baraka Cyrax, right? Every time you get hit, you're eating 50 plus. Every single time you get hit, doesn't matter where you're at on the screen, you're eating 50 plus. He builds meter like a madman. He keeps himself safe. You don't really eat that much chip anymore since we've all learned the flawless block gaps, but that's not the point, right? You also have a 25% backwards throw with Cyrax. So he just hits like a fucking truck, man. That's literally his whole game plan, right? He staggers you until you get hit, right? Has a really good back 3 that breaks armor on every single character, except Rain, I think, and Johnny. Rain, Johnny. I'm pretty sure that's the only characters. Oh, and Ashrah. Of course, Ashrah. Yeah. So, yeah, he hits like a truck, bro. That's all you're getting. He's hitting like a truck. And he hits so hard that it puts him in S+. Because, again, every single time you get hit, bro, it's 50 plus mid screen. In the corner, if you get hit and you have 2 bars, you're eating 60 fucking percent off of, no, it's 1 bar. It's 60% 1 bar, 2 cameos. So, I mean, that's S plus, bro. That's S plus if I've ever heard it. Ooh, Havik. Havik's better than Tanya. Havik's better than Mileena. I'll put him right there. I don't think he's better than Kitana. Havik, again, his game plan is very simple, right? You hit confirm, you EX your grab, and then you get the setup down where you snap your neck, which leads into basically an unblockable setup, right? You have to take a risk and you have to armor. So it's very simple. His game plan is going to be checking you at all times with this really long reaching mid, and just poking you, trying to get you, in range. As soon as you get hit, he EXs his little passive, I guess you could call it passive, where he tethers you in, breaks your neck. That's really his entire game plan, man. Doesn't really hit the hardest, to be honest. 35, maximum 40% I've seen, for 1 bar. And then, which of course leads into the tether setup at all times. He has pretty good zoning too. Pretty good zoning, but he's again, just really strong character. He's not super fucking strong. Like, you could definitely exploit some of his shit. He has a 3-way mix off of his fucking mid as well. But again, you can armor through all of it. So he's strong, but he's not like overpowered or anything like that. Ashrah S plus for sure. S plus. Ashrah is better than Baraka for sure. Is she better than Raiden though? Here's the thing. I think Ashrah gives Raiden really hard times, but I don't think overall she's a better character than Raiden. Ashrah's main asset is she has such long-reaching normals with Serena that anytime she throws Serena out in neutral and you get hit, she's getting a full hit confirm anywhere on the screen. Anywhere on the screen. Because her normals are so long-reaching, which leads into 40+% every single time. Not only that, her projectile is plus on block, recovers instantly. It doesn't necessarily recover instantly, but it recovers within just a few frames. So you're hardly, if ever, going to punish that if you jump it. Very good damage, very fucking strong normals, and a plus projectile, which anytime you block it and you don't armor through, she just resets the entire thing. So she's just set playing you to death the entire time. Very, very strong character. Very strong character. Yeah, 3-way mix. He can go overhead, lower, grab off of his mid. Sindel, I think Sindel's very strong. I would put Sindel, if not the bottom of S tier, I would put her like, nah, she's bottom S. Bottom S tier for sure. Now, I know you guys are like S tier, like, right? But I really do think characters are so fucking strong in this game, bro. Like, I don't think people really understand how good these characters are, and that just shows you how good S plus is, right? So I do think in any other game, Sindel with her tool set would be an S tier character. I really do. I truthfully believe that. Again, some of the best rangy buttons in the game, some of the best zoning in the game, some of the best anti-zoning in the game, because her EX projectile eats all projectiles. Very good damage off every single hit. Very good like setups with her float, which leads into true block strings, which again it can get risky for it at times if you're up blocking. But again, that's a risk on your opponent's part too, because if they go for an up block, you cancel your float, throw in a grab, they're eating 17 to 20%, depending on her cameo. Yeah, she's just very strong, man. One of the best armored wake ups in the game, super fucking fast. Yeah, super strong character. Super strong character right here. Oh, and her, I think it's her, is it back one? The hair string, it breaks armor when she like whips her hair out multiple times. That completely breaks armor. And anytime you break the armor, it's a full hit confirm, right? Because it's not a dial-in string, it's just a single button, right? Which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, super strong. Shao, I'm gonna put Shao like I think Shao's better than Scorp. I think Shao's better than Reptile. I think Shao's better than Geras. I think he's better than Li Mei. Is he better than Smoke? Yeah, he's better than Smoke. I'll put him right here. I'll put Shao right here. I'll put him right there for sure. Shao's game plan is just mix heavy, right? He's mixing you with his overhead and low. Of course, with this low, he kind of has to take a risk depending on his cameo, but his overhead you can keep completely safe at all times. Or not, I mean, you can keep it safe, but if you want to go for the full combo, you're taking a little bit of a risk. But he's another character that hits like a truck, right? Very good space control with this 2-2, one of the best strings in the game, in my opinion. But he's not that strong. There's definitely gaps there that you can blow up. There's definitely things that you can do to counteract his game plan. Specifically with some of the top tier characters, he just can't really keep up at high level. But again, he still hits like a fucking truck. I can tell you that. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put Li Mei above Smoke. I think Li Mei is stronger than Smoke. I'm gonna change that around. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Shang Tsung. Ooh, Shang Tsung's better than Sindel. Shang Tsung's better than Tanya. Better than Mileena. Better than Havik. Better than Kitana. I'm put him right there. I'm gonna put Shang right there. Shang Tsung, of course, we all know has some of the best zoning within the game. Some of the best check buttons within the game. Now, if you go into like a Shao, or I'm sorry, not Shao. If you go into like a Shang Kung Lao like setup where you're trying to do your block strings into plus Kung Lao low hat, those are fake. So he is taking a risk anytime he does that. But it's the fact that he can end it so many different ways, and on top that he has some of the best zoning within the game. Not only that, has super fucking high damage, which doesn't really make much sense, you know, considering how well his zoning is. But anytime he's hitting you, the thing is, any single hit confirm he gets, he's sending you full screen again, right? Sending you full screen, puts on Sub-Zero armor, zoning the shit out of you. That's what Shang does, right? Now, he is also, I know this doesn't really matter in a tier list, but it's kind of fucking boring to play. Because anytime you hit someone, you're doing the same combo. Stand for Hellspark, stand for Hellspark, stand for Hellspark, stand for send him full screen. So it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. All right, who we got next? Nitara. Nitara's some shit, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nitara is some straight doo-doo water. She's not shit. Okay, let me take that back. She's not bad. Like, she's a solid character, but everything you do with Nitara, you have to take a fucking risk. Every single thing you do. Overhead, you're taking a risk. You going for the low sweep. Low sweep is safe, but you're not getting anything off of it because you can't hit confirm it, right? So if you do low sweep into, let's say, flight, or not flight, but you know what I'm talking about, her launcher, it's a risk. Right? You're taking a risk anytime you do that. Overhead, you're taking a risk again because the only way you can cancel it, your opponent can blow that up, right? She hits hard though. She does hit hard. Her damage is pretty damn good. But outside of that, man, her wake up sucks. Her wake up sucks bad because a lot of characters can go right under it and full combo punish just by doing a meaty. So she's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Again, I don't want to say she's bad, man. I don't want to say she's bad, but she's just not that good. She's just not that good. Reiko. Okay. I know this is going to upset a lot of people, bro. Reiko S+. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know people are going to be like, what the fuck? Reiko's better than Baraka. I'm going to put Reiko top 5. And I'm not joking. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. Yes, he is. No, he is. He is. For sure. Reiko's fucked. Reiko's fucked. The only reason Reiko isn't like over here is because he can get counter zoned by some characters. He can. Like Liu Kang counter zones him. Sindel counter zones him. But the characters that don't, man, the characters that don't, his zoning is absolutely fucked up. fucked. It breaks all armor. Few characters can go under it, but few characters even that do go under it can barely fucking reach it, right? Dude, Reiko's projectile will beat Ashrah's armored fucking move, which is 5 hits. His EX projectile will break her armor completely, which is crazy. That is crazy. And then you're like, okay, well, he has zoning. He also has a mid command grab that for 3 bars will lead into 60% with fatal blow, right? Mid command grab plus strings, right? Once he gets up close, and a command grab mix up. Some of the best spacing buttons I've ever seen in the game with back 3. You can do back 3 projectile. You can actually hit confirm back 3, which is kind of crazy, depending on the range. Yeah, dude, this character's fucked. This character is absolutely fucked. Actually, all the top 5 here are fucked. At top 6, really. Oh, yes, and he has an overhead that he can completely check you with at all times. I think I'm going to change this up a bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this A+. I'm going to put this A+, and I'm going to put this S tier. That's what I'm going to do. A+ and S tier. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. So A+, S tier. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Okay, now Sub-Zero. This is going to piss people off. This is going to piss people off, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. This is going to piss people off. Is Sub-Zero better than Nitara? Yes. Is he better than Scorp? Yes. Is he better than Reptile? Yes. Is he better than Geras? In my opinion, yes. But he's not better than Smoke. That's where I put Sub. Sub is still bottom 5 for everyone out there that's like, oh, bro, Sub worst character. Sub sucks, bro. Sub fucking sucks. Bro, he's not that bad. The problem with Sub is that to play him optimally, it's boring as shit. That's the problem. I know you want to go in, you want to get your damage up, but that's not how you play Sub optimally. The way you play Sub optimally is you step back into range and you bait out your dive kick the entire time. Anytime you poke, you throw out clone. Yes, which is a risk to yourself. I get it. It should be. Anything that you do poke into something, it should take some sort of risk. That's why Raiden is so fucking broke right now, is because it doesn't take any risk, right? But I think it should. If you do poke into a fucking special, you should be taking a risk, right? You shouldn't be able to get out set play for free. But he has an amazing mid. Yes, I know it's 15 frames, but it's a forward advancing 15 frame mid. That is so good. People don't understand how good that is. You can keep your overhead completely safe with Kung Lao. Now, everything that you do strings into Kung Lao is fake. You're not going to get like, it's not like Liu Kang does forward 4 into Lao hat, which is a true block string, right? Sub-Zero has to take a little bit of risk with that. But we are seeing 50% BMBs with Cyrex in the corner now with Sub-Zero. So I don't want to hear anything about damage. He's still hitting for 40s every single time if you play optimal. But again, a lot of Sub-Zero players don't want to fucking play optimal. They don't want to play slow as shit, which I understand. I'm not saying that makes sense. I get it. But he is a good fucking character. Like, he's not as bad as fucking Nitara. I don't think Scorpion. I think he's better than Scorpion. I think he's better than Reptile. I think he's better than Geras. Hold on. Actually, no, I don't. No, I don't think he's better than Geras. Let me take that back. Let me take that back. I'll put him there. But I don't think he's the worst character in the game by any means. Still bottom 5. But not the worst character in the game. And I know, listen, I know that's going to piss Sub-Zero mains off. I get it. I get it. But listen, man, that's from what I've seen with Sub, with very, very good players, you have to play very, very, very fucking, what's the word I could use? Passive. You have to play passive. And that sucks. And that sucks that you have to play like that, but that's just the way the character is, right? You're constantly jumping back, trying to bait out your dive kick at the perfect range, in which case it's plus on block. You fuck that up once, you're getting full combo punished, right? But he still has it. It's still there. It's still an option. You also have Ice Clone, which, yeah, it's on a cooldown, but you still have the dive kick right behind of it, man. And you have the fucking ice shit. You know, your projectile, man. That's a very good tool. 50-50 mix, which, yes, you're taking a risk. I get it. But if you're eating 40 off of a fucking 50-50 mix, you should take risk. That's why Sub-Zero's not up here and Raiden is. Raiden takes no risk off his 50-50. That's why Raiden's up there. That's why Kenshi's up here. You get what I'm saying? If you didn't have to take risk off your 50-50 with Sub, like say it's safe, right? Say it's safe and say you can hit confirm both. Well, not hit confirm, but just say it's safe, and if they get hit, you full combo, right? He'd be up here. But the fact that you're taking a little bit of risk, you know, puts him down here. So yeah, that's my tier list, man. That's my tier list. I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything else I would change.